My amplified unit, salute AEW All In 2025. Your official amplified review starts now. This is one of 3 reviews we are doing in one Saturday night. Just about an hour ago, NXT's review for the Great American Bash hit the channel. That is live right now on the channel, NXT Great American Bash. Was it great? Was it premium live event worthy? Did it belong on a premium live? Does it constitute as a premium live? I got something to say about that. And it's ironic that they depended on and that it was former AEW stars that had to try to save that show. If you didn't catch that review, check it out. But this is going to be the all-in review, and then late tonight, early tomorrow morning, you guys are going to get the Saturday night's main event review. WWE Saturday night's main event. So it is a triple review Saturday night. Now, full transparency, I'm going to give you guys everything in this review that I possibly could have. This was a 21-hour pay-per-view from Tony Khan's AEW. Slight exaggeration, maybe not 21 hours. But it's long. Tony Khan loves to put out just long-ass pay-per-views, man. It's what he does. This was long. It was directly up against NXT. That's an issue because I was also covering NXT. It also went up against a good chunk of Saturday night's main event. That's an issue because I'm covering Saturday night's main event. So, yeah, I'm giving you guys everything on it, but feel free if I missed something or if I did botch something, totally cool. Throw it down below, help out the rest of the unit so everything is indeed correct. But there were some things, I got 3 screens up, I'm doing all these other things, I'm trying to get every note perfect. MJF, who did he just beat? I think that was Roddy Strong, I think. Right? It's the Gauntlet match. There's like 100 people. I look up real quick, I blink, the match is over. I think it was Roddy Strong, but if I'm wrong, hey, jot it down below. But I think I got everything pretty. I had AEW on the biggest screen. So even NXT, Saturday night's main event, those were on the smaller screens. AEW took the main screen here, man. Because I wanted to make sure you guys got the best of notes here, the best of a review. So that's just full transparency. It spanned over the course of breakfast, lunch, dinner. It was approximately 21 hours in length. But I think we're going to cover this pretty damn good, man. I'll give you guys the results of this, some of the highlights of each matchup, and my thoughts on it. Sound good? And again, NXT's review for a Great American Bash is already on the channel. That's a definite must-see. Because I did not give that any leeway at all. It does not deserve any leeway. And again, Saturday night's main event is coming on the channel. So I promise this review will not be 21 hours. I will try to get, especially with all the reviews that are being dished out on the channel, I will try to get this done in an adequate amount of time. AEW All In started off the main show with the Ops defeating the Riders for the Trios Championship. So Ops retain. But it's what happened post-match, man. This was the good in this matchup. The Riders destroyed the Ops post-match. And I like the story that was being told. Because the story was that the plan all along? Win or lose? And they actually said this on commentary. I just love this. Win or lose, was this the plan so that they can snuff out the Ops so they will not be able to help out Swerve later in the night in the main event because the Ops have been helping Swerve out. So win or lose, the plan here to make sure that title stays on Mox, you take out the Ops. And putting this in the first match, I just love the consistency, the continuity. When something that happens earlier in a show affects later in the show. You guys know that. So I always say this, sometimes it's simplistic. This was absolutely simplistic. Take out the people that are helping the individual that's going for the championship. Thank you. It's not that hard, man. I ask for this all the time. Continuity and storytelling. So that's what I really like. The match itself, I'm not a big schmaz match type dude. You guys know that. I don't like the triple threats, fatal 4-ways. I'm not a big fan of the trios division. I feel like a lot of these companies can't even book their tag team divisions correctly. Why would you go to 6-man tag and make it a division? But moving on, because I got 12 hours of wrestling to get to here from All In. Slight exaggeration, if such. MJF wins the Casino Gauntlet match. MJF is your 2025 All-In Casino Gauntlet winner. He will now have a future world title shot. Again, I believe he beat Roddy Strong. This is one of many moments where I'm blinking or my attention's somewhere else and something happens and I'm like, I think that was Roddy Strong. But I do believe MJF defeated Roddy Strong to seal the deal, and now he has that contract. MJF is the only option here, man. MJF had to win this matchup. It's MJF. You had a star-studded lineup, I felt. I mean, it was a lot of mid-carders, I guess, but Ricochet would have been another option. You could do a lot creatively with Ricochet with a contract like that, but MJF, man, that's the biggest star in the match. I just don't see how he can leave All In and lose this by any means, by any which way. That was the right decision. So anybody with an issue with that, that's your prerogative, I understand. I just don't see a scenario where MJF could lose that. So yeah, MJF takes that. And the next matchup, I know a lot of fans are divided on this, but if you follow this channel, you know I love this decision because I'm a huge Dustin Rhodes supporter. Dustin Rhodes defeated Kyle Fletcher, Dan Garcia, and Sam Guevara to become new TNT champion. What? Let me find out. We live in a Dustin Rhodes has a championship and Cody Rhodes doesn't era. Didn't have that on the bingo card, but I love that. Guys, listen, from what we're hearing is Dustin Rhodes signed a 6-year deal with AEW. 6 years. That's like one of those baseball contracts where they sign you for 10, 12, 13 years, but you know that player's not playing for another decade plus. So they're basically retiring with your team. Right? This is one of those things where Dustin's not going to wrestle another 6 years. He's just not going to. But he's going to be a legacy person for AEW. And Dustin has said many times he is going to finish his career in AEW. That's how much he respects Tony Khan, likes the way they do business, and etc. So Dustin Rhodes, 6 years. I've been saying this for years. Dustin has another long, kick-ass run in him. He is still, to this day, I truly feel one of the best wrestlers in the world. Not just the talent or skill that you see in the ring, but everything that goes with it. The in-ring psychology, the way that he sells, the way that he performs, everything from the mannerisms, the expressions, every move has a purpose. Every setup to a move has a purpose. It's just everything Dustin does. I mean, if Dustin Rhodes is in your locker room and you're a young buck, no pun intended to Matt and Nick Jackson, but you're a young rookie in the industry and you come across Dustin Rhodes, man, you ask him if he's got some time and you just pick his dome piece. Anyway, Dustin Rhodes wins this title. I could not be more pumped up for this, but I know the rest of the wrestling world probably doesn't share that same amplified excitement. I was absolutely rocking when I saw Dustin Rhodes pick up that championship. And again, Dustin holding a title and Cody is trying to find one. Did not have that on the bingo card. Next up was Swerve and Ospreay defeating the youngest of all the Bucks. Thus, the Bucks are stripped of their EVP status. Not a big tag team guy anymore because every company doesn't know how to book their divisions properly. But the setup to this got a lot more fun this past Wednesday when their limousine got crushed. I love that. I just don't want to see brawls to set up a match at the big event. No, like let's have some fun. And the Bucks running out. How am I ever going to financially recover from this? That was the funniest line all month in pro wrestling easily. And now that they have the EVP status ripped away, you could have so much more fun with this. Because now the EVP status, which brought all that extra income in, that's ripped away. So now they're really going to be in financial ruins. Are they going to be like broke Baron Corbin, that character? Probably not. I don't think they're going to be coming out with mismatched, buttoned, mustard-stained shirts. I don't think times will get that rough. But you could have a lot of fun with this. Anyway, Swerve and Ospreay had to win this, man. That's too much star power. I mean, these are two dudes that are on top of AEW. I mean, yeah, you can say Hangman Page as well and a few others, but Kenny Omega, I understand, but that's a power team. That's a power team. It's the equivalent. Well, no, I don't want to say this. I'll catch so much flack. I'm not comparing it literally to like Savage and Hogan, the Mega Powers. Relax. I'm just saying in 2025, because there isn't really that type of star power in pro wrestling, Hogan, Savage. But I mean, in a company, I mean, that's two top stars combining an ultimate team. I understand the Young Bucks are one of the greatest tag teams ever, but that's you don't have Swerve and Ospreay go in there as a tag team if you're going to have them lose. I don't care what scenario you come up with. I don't care what creative conundrum you pop up into. No, absolutely not. It's like MJF in the Gauntlet, in that Casino Gauntlet match. No, if MJF is in it, MJF's got to win it. If you're going to put Swerve and Ospreay in a match together, then that's how it's got to be. I like the other side of it, though. If the Bucks did win, Ospreay and Swerve can't compete for the world title for a full calendar year. That's smart because they don't really need the title right now. So you could put them in really good feuds that has nothing to do with the championship. Cody did that once, but that was a mistake. Because Cody needed to be around that. Even if he's not winning the title, there was a couple of scenarios where Cody had to be in the title picture. And he blocked himself out of it. So Cody, that was a mistake. But for Swerve and Ospreay, I could see that playing out. But I just can't get past Ospreay and Swerve together and losing. So, no, this was the right call. And then it happened. It seems like we've been waiting 85 years for this. Again, slight exaggeration, but my gal Athena is taking it to the house. Guys, Athena won the women's Casino Gauntlet matchup in at number 9, I believe, and she defeated Shirakawa. Just to see her with that contract, to see a moment like that, and to know how long that a lot of us have been waiting for her to get back to that main stage. She's been kicking ass. It's just not a lot of people have been able to be seeing it. And it's kind of like she's kind of like swept underneath the rug, but to have her back on that main stage, it's more than long overdue. So if there's yes, you could have gone several ways with that contract in the winner of this, but anybody that has a real problem with Athena winning this, I don't think you know enough about Athena. Because hands down, she can beat anybody that was in that match. Hands down. So it's more than believable and realistic, but on top of that, it's more than long overdue. Athena, it's just this night for AEW All In, it was full with a lot of moments of like, yes, like all my peeps were. You would have thought BC was booking this, man. My boy MJF takes it to the house. Dustin Rhodes is rocking out with gold around his shoulder. My girl Athena has made the big time yet again. You would have thought BC was booking this shit. I was not, all right? I was covering NXT, Saturday Night's Main Event, and all. I was plenty busy. I promise I was not booking this. I know. Long-time subscribers are like, wait a second, BC. All your people are winning this. And you know I wouldn't book like that. I would never book to my favorites. I always book to what needs to happen. What is the best fit for that scenario and going forward? What's best for the talent, the fans, and the company? Those 3 questions all in one. That's what you got to ask. I would never book to my favorites. I always say I'm a big Jinder Mahal fan. That doesn't mean Jinder Mahal I would book to have world championships and main events galore. Absolutely not. Because I understand most of the wrestling world doesn't want to see Jinder Mahal in those scenarios. Anyway, moving on. The Hurt Syndicate. Again, Syndicate, my boys, they keep their titles. I don't think that was a shock or a surprise. Wednesday, I did like how they got it. They took a whooping. I felt that was needed because on paper, they were going to crush Jet Speed and Patriarchy. They were just going to crush. I mean, it wasn't even believable that any of these teams, even if they group up together, were going to take out Syndicate. But on Wednesday, when you saw that beating, you kind of like, all right, well, at least there's at least an opportunity now for one of these teams to take it. Because Lashley's getting his leg crushed in with concertos. Shelton Benjamin's in the ring getting destroyed. Speedball Bailey is wrecking this dude. So I like the setup too, just to give you a little bit of a, well, if they do go that way, it's a little bit more believable. But no, this was all just for Syndicate to show everybody, just remind everybody who's doing the hurting. Lashley's spear ends this thing, I believe. Yeah. It was a long pay-per-view, man. And I didn't put it in the notes, but I think it was the Lashley spear from what I recall. And Syndicate will keep their championships. Now, the big story here, again, those are my boys win, so that's a big moment for BC. But post-match, man. And I think it was like some shindig where like Christian Cage like ran into FTR, something like that. So there was some friction there. Nick Wayne just goes ballistic. He snaps. And Wayne turns on Cage. And in effect, the patriarchy just implodes. And Cage is about to get a concerto. Again, Wayne just snapped. All of a sudden, on this day, I see clearly. And whatever else, la 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 la. But it's Edge, Adam Copeland. That's right. Cope returns. BC knew he was coming back on this event. I just knew it. But I didn't actually know it, so I couldn't discuss it. But I knew. I just said, there's no way. Cope's ready to rock back. This event is too big. He came to AEW for these scenarios and situations. There's no way Cope is staying off this event. It's just how do they implement him. I didn't think they would just put him right back with Christian Cage. But that's what they did. But this was with a twist. This was with a twist because Cope comes back, Spike in hand. He's got Spike. He's not alone. I love the double spear, I believe it was, to FTR. Took them out. Took Wayne out. Took everybody out. Didn't even need Spike. And then he's looking at Cage. I think he even helped Cage up, I believe. But he gets Cage back to his feet after he's just been turned on by his own people. And he looks at Cage. He has a microphone. And he says, "Go find yourself." I love this. If anybody remembers, this is it. Consistency, continuity. This is storytelling. If you guys remember when Cope first got to AEW, I think it was one of those first interviews they did with Cage. Cage looked at Cope and said, "Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself." What Helmsley says to his own fans, his own audience. Go fuck yourself. So Cope looks like he's going to say, it sounds like he's going to say that. Go find yourself. Go find yourself, dude. Look at this. Was this all worth it? And your own people turned on you. Go find yourself. Remember who your true friends are. And he walks off. I'll take a great storytelling over any 5-star classic match any day. Because I can get great wrestling every single day of the week, twice on Sunday, 100 times on Sunday. I can get great wrestling at the local bingo hall. There's 85 shows a week that'll give me great wrestling. But great storytelling, it's hard pressed to find. That was so well done, man. Go find yourself. It'll be interesting to see where they go from there. Next up was Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné, one of those marquee main event matchups. Just not in the main event slot, but this is one of those two matches for BC. It was this one, and it was Paige and Mox. For BC, this was easily a double main event. This card was so stacked, you could have said it was a quadruple main event. But Storm and Mercedes. Oh, this had the wrestling world split. Half of the wrestling world, well, maybe 30-40% saying Mercedes has to win this. A good 60 plus was going, no, she is not winning this shit. Tony's got to take this. So when it was said and done, it was indeed Toni Storm retaining her women's title via that Storm Zero. Avalanche Storm Zero. Is that what it is? So Moné's undefeated streak. Many called it the reign of terror. I call it her reign of awesomeness and ultimateness. That reign is over. If you're new to the channel, huge Mercedes supporter here, BC is. I feel she's the best women's wrestler on the planet. And she lost this match. And I said going into this, no matter who wins, there's no wrong. I could see Toni Storm winning this. There's a lot of creative ways you can go. I would have gone Mercedes because I have a lot more creativity I can put in to Mercedes winning and having another belt to her collection. But I know a lot of people were just, especially with Mox holding that title for as long as he has, and then Mercedes, a lot of even AEW diehard fans were just like, I can't do it. Mox and Mercedes has to drop it. But I could have done so much with Sadie's 7 belts, but they decided not to do it. Toni Storm is not a wrong answer. That's for damn sure. Sadie's looked great out there in the white and gold trim attire. She had a star-studded entrance with, what do they call them? The Rangers cheerleaders. But they had the cheerleader. I mean, it was WrestleMania-esque entrance. Pyro, music's blasting. I mean, yeah, Mercedes had all the bells and whistles. Not that she needs it. She even delivered a couple of meteors, but a meteor to Luther while he's holding Toni Storm. And Mercedes is like, I'll take you both out. And Luther, I don't know why that was funny to me. Luther just taking a meteor. I don't know why I mentioned that. Just one of those things that stuck out. What else stuck out in that? A good match. Times I thought it would have been a little better, and then times it picked up, and I'm like, yes, this is what I was waiting for. But Storm was hilarious. There was a moment where the crowd was chanting like that Cody Rhodes chant, Toni Storm, Toni Storm. All right, you get the pitch. And she just starts dancing the CEO dance, the Mercedes dance. You know what Mercedes? It popped the crowd. They were singing, and then they just went into laughter. BC almost spit out his coffee. That would have been the second time this week. The first time was when the Bucks delivered how am I going to financially recover from this? When their limo was getting destroyed by Swerve. Anyway, Toni Storm was awesome in this, man. What else? Yeah, I got to move on. But Toni Storm takes what a match, what a moment. I don't think people realize how big this was, man. All of this was to get the Mercedes to have that first loss and big loss on a big stage. This was it. So everyone that was waiting for this moment, there you go. You got it. I just hope Tony Khan like knows how to pick up the pieces to Mercedes now, because that was huge. Everybody says Mercedes ran through the AEW locker room. What was she going to do now? Well, she should. She's the best wrestler factually, man. Put your feelings about it aside. I say it all the time on this channel. She gives everybody their best match. Whether it's a Becky Lynch, a Bayley, a Charlie Flair, a Bianca Belair. Go down the line. If not the best, one of. You can't say that about anybody else. Shawn Michaels was like that for the dudes in his prime. That's why I say factually she gives everybody their best match. So realistically, who's beating Mercedes? Jamie Hayter? I love Sky Blue. You guys know it. Sky Blue's not beating her. Penelope Ford isn't beating her. Not even Megan Bayne right now. Although the way they keep booking Megan Bayne, I could believe that maybe in the future. But not right now. So everyone's crying now. She's beating everybody. Well, who's beating her realistically? Come on, man. So many people just don't like Mercedes. They're not thinking clearly. You have to have that to get to the moment you got tonight with Toni winning. I told you guys, relax. Relax. I would have had her actually beating Toni probably and set up something even bigger. And relax. Listen, at least that's not a stupid. Stupid is saying like, oh, I would give Charlie Flair all the titles so she can get heel heat. That's what Bubba Dudley said. If Bubba was in charge, he would give Charlie all the titles so she can get nuclear heat. He doesn't understand. Charlie, it's not about heat. It's go away heat. It's not like fun. Like booing Dominic Mysterio because it's fun. This is like, dude, we don't want to see it. There's no connection to Charlie, so putting more titles wouldn't solve anything. Bubba. But having Mercedes go over? No, that wouldn't be a bad thing. But Toni Storm winning? That's also not bad. That's the decision that Tony Khan went with. If Mercedes has all the creative control that everybody thinks she has, well, guess what? She booked herself to lose. Not so bad. All right, so next, I don't even know what is next up. I don't know. Tapping into hour number 12 of this pay-per-view now. Okada defeated Omega to become the first ever unified champion, the Continental Championship and the International Championship. Okada, he defeated Omega with the Rainmaker, I believe. I'm trying to recollect all that. There comes a moment where it's so long, you're doing NXT, you're doing this, you're setting up for Saturday night's main event, you no longer do notes. You just got to kind of recall everything from the top of your dome piece, and we've hit that time. I have no notes for the main event, no notes for this. I'm just going off from legit memory, man. Good matchup, obviously. We've seen these two several times in the past, or at least many of you guys probably have, and their battles in Japan and such as well. But so you knew it was going to be good. It's a little bit farther in their careers, so I wasn't expecting exactly what they did, and I didn't necessarily get it in many ways, but I didn't need it. You give me 75% of what they can do, and it's going to top most matchups that we see. And that's what it did. But there was something really hefty on the line at the end of this, man. And Okada was the one to reign that prize up. I understand it. I do. I would have went Omega. I have my reasons for that. This review is about to go as long as the event. I don't want that to be. I will probably discuss this in great length in a future upload. Yes, for many reasons, I would have went Omega. I have no problem with it being Okada, and I do see many ways you can go with Okada with this title. I get it. I just would have went Omega. I just don't feel Omega's hit his moment yet, man. He's been there for years. I know the EVP title has held him down, bad booking, some injuries, some unfortunate issues that kind of had him sidelined. I get all that. But even when he's booking straight, there was that run when he had a bunch of titles too, not as much as Mercedes. But even then, it didn't feel like he hit his stride. I still don't feel like we have gotten the best booking of Kenny Omega yet in AEW. I'll just leave it at that. But Okada, man, he did the deed. First ever unified champion. And then we went into the main event. This was Hangman Adam Page versus Mox. Mox and that title locked in that briefcase since 1942, or at least that's what it seems. Fans begging every single month, every week, every moment for somebody to beat Mox. Somebody, please get that title out of the briefcase. I've been loving this because I knew the moment was going to be so amazing when somebody finally does. And I thought that this was the night to do it. I felt that Page was the guy to do it. And I felt that was the moment. And that's exactly what happened. When you talk bells, whistles, and overbooked, this had all of that and then some. Mox was bust open massively. Renee Paquette's probably upside down in horror. This was one of the biggest guys. I mean, Mox just went all in on that. No pun intended, but he went all in on this one, man. He was fighting, not just wrestling. He was fighting in this match like he was about to go on a 6-month vacation, and he knew it. So he's like, I'm putting it all out there. Now the Riders would eventually find their way to the ring. You knew it was only a matter of time, and this is what I mean about earlier in the night. Something very simplistic, but what a story it tells. The Ops were taken out. And for commentary to jump right in on that and say, wait, was this the plan? Win or lose? Was the main goal just to take out Ops so they can't help out? And they know that Swerve, he's kind of on the outs with it. Is Swerve going to help out Hangman? We can't guarantee that at all. So we take out the Ops. Man, you know the Riders are coming out. I love this. This is where I put all the puzzle pieces of the story together. And you hope it makes sense. This does. So the Riders are out there. However, there is a dude in a Blue Panther mask who jumps in the ring and he starts doing the Bryan yeses, the Bryan Danielson yeses with the fingers. Sure enough, it's Bryan Danielson. He returned to AEW at this event. The crowd is going ballistic at this point. He's taking everybody out. Swerve would come down to the ring and Swerve would help out Hangman Adam Page. And Swerve, man, I'm trying. There's no notes on this. I'm trying to remember everything. There was a buckshot lariat onto the, what was it? The barbed wire or the bed of nails? Something was, it was bad. It was gnarly. And then Swerve wraps this chain around him, and Page is, I think it was Swerve, right? Adam Page chucks him over the top rope, and Mox is just kind of dangling there until he just passes out. Hangman Adam Page takes the W, takes the championship. The crowd's going nuts. They've been waiting for this for I don't know how long. And At the very end, he's trying to crack this case. Oh, I just thought, what story, man? What storytelling? Tony Khan was pissing his audience off, but this moment was the ultimate payoff. Why is the title locked in a briefcase? This is so stupid. We haven't seen the title since 1942. This is why. That moment where you're cracking it open finally. And the emotion that was on Page when he finally opened that briefcase and he's got that championship. Good night, everybody. That is AEW All In. They go off the air 5 hours into this son of a bitch. 5 hours, guys. 5 hour pay-per-view. It was fun. It was good. I always say about the AEW product, it doesn't feel like a chore. It's watchable. Things make more sense. The problem Tony has is it's too much going on. He tries to do too much too soon. When the company wasn't even but a couple years old, he already had Dynamite, Rampage, and was talking Collision. Why do you have 3 shows? You're only a few years old. WWE, it took decades to get a second show SmackDown. Decades. In 2 to 3 years, you already got Rampage. And then Collision came. Too much. Why do you have a roster of 150 people? Why are you working with 2 other companies? Why do you have a sub company? Why is there so much? Relax. Dumb it down a little bit. Get a roster of 75, 1 show on primetime, and start with that for a few years. Tony does too much. That's his detriment. Sometimes he's his own worst enemy. Dumb it down, man. But you get a night like this. Is 5 hours too long? No question. But man, was this fun? Of course. What do you really take out? I guess there's a few things I could take out. A couple matches I could have. But, you could have saved the Gauntlet matches, man. That could have been, it didn't need to be an all-in. That could really be help out a standalone event. That could really help out a different event that All In doesn't even need. You could cut out an hour, but I understand also that brings more fun. It's kind of like the Money in the Bank ladder matches. A lot of people want them back on WrestleMania, but you could easily have that as its own event. It works there too. So I guess the Gauntlet matches you could easily take out. But I don't know, man. Like I said, guys, I tried to get everything in for you. It was 5 hours. I'm doing NXT. I got Saturday night's main event setting up for that, and it went into Saturday night's main, the whole first hour. So I'm doing it all. Obviously, things I might have missed or botched up on. Totally cool. Put it down below and help out the unit, and there'll be that clarity. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. But more than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the event because there was a little bit of everything, and there was payoffs to long-term stories, man. Mercedes holding all those titles and beating everybody. You got a payoff tonight. That belt in that briefcase and Mox running through everybody and everybody bitching and moaning and complaining. You got a payoff tonight. You got a payoff to a lot of things, man. Be happy for Dustin Rhodes. Don't cry about it, man. Be happy for this. This could be a really good run, and he deserves one. I hate that word in wrestling, but if anybody deserves something, Dustin does. And if anybody has earned it, Dustin has. And if anybody has earned and deserves something, Athena has. A lot of cool moments. You saw a unified champion first ever. Okada doing the deed. Wow, what a moment. Omega looking up at those lights. MJF taking his rightful contract as well, man. A lot. I don't know, man. It's going to take a while to digest it. I viewed it. I'm spitting it all back at you guys. It's going to take me several days to comprehend all of this. And we'll be talking much more in depth about it in future uploads, I assure you. The NXT review is up on the channel. I wish I was more positive about that. That was just not the case. Check it out. NXT's Great American Bash review, that's out now. Later on the channel, either late tonight or early tomorrow morning, Saturday night's main event, I'll have that review for you guys. So while we're pumping them out, Evolution is tomorrow night, or by the time you see this, tonight. Sunday night, Evolution, possibly live watch-along. I'm trying to pull it off, man. We'll watch the entire event. You guys will get a live review, live reaction, live watch-along. Trying to do that for Evolution. All right, guys. Do what you got to do. Coffees, regroup, and be on the lookout for the Saturday night's main event review. How was that event? You know how I feel, or you're about to know how I feel about NXT. You now know how I feel about All In. What about WWE's main roster? Hitting NBC television with Saturday night's main event. LA Knight, Seth Rollins. Solo Sikoa. Medium-sized Jim Uso. jelly roll in the corner of Randy Orton against Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul in Drew's corner. How did it all go? We'll talk about it. Until next time, there will be that next time. BC in the unit, we're saying check you. Salute! What a night in Texas! All in! Damn! Damn!